Hey Cancer, welcome to your 2020 Sidereal Astrology reading. So this video is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out that link down below for more information. We're using the actual size of the constellations, which does change the signs from mainstream astrology. And so if you're a mainstream Cancer, you may not be a Cancer in Sidereal. So do check out the link down below. You want to make sure you're watching this for your sun, moon, or ascendant sign of Sidereal. And there will be a birth chart calculator down there if you do want to calculate to see what these signs are for you, and make sure you're watching the right video. And I do recommend watching these for your ascendant sign. You will need your time of birth for that and to use the calculator, but if you do, I highly recommend it, as the ascendant sign can be more of a accurate picture, but all three if you do want to watch 3 videos. All right, so Cancer, we're going to talk about the most important things going on here for you in terms of the planetary placements with the outer planets, the eclipses we have going on, and some of the aspects between these outer planets. So the main area of development for you is your 6th house of work, routine, and health are usually the common themes of the 6th house. Now, this has already been very much activated for you, even as far back as 2007. There's probably been a lot of transformations and changes to your work, routine, or health sector. Recently, though, the past couple years, there's probably been some new foundations you've started to lay with this sector, and maybe working harder, being patient with the routine stuff. But this year is very constructive for it, because not only is Saturn finishing up this sector, it means that you're going to be finishing maybe some of this routine stuff and noticing less limitation of this going into next year. But also Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is coming through this 6th house. So you may even see some opportunities at work, maybe promotions. You may get some opportunities to heal or do some health-related stuff. Very constructive year for that sector. Now, January, we have a lunar eclipse, January 10th, and this is going to be in your 12th house. So while there's a lot of development in this kind of day-to-day sector of working hard here and the opportunities and such, these eclipses are going to help you find balance with that and your spiritual well-being. And so the lunar eclipse on January 10th can help really illuminate your spiritual self a little bit more. You may gain some insights, some intuition, some insight from your dreams. Really good time of doing a status check and seeing how is peace in your life, and how is your alone time and your spiritual well-being and spiritual health. And maybe, through that awareness, maybe further develop this stuff for the remainder of the year, and in this case, the next 6 months, to further develop this spiritual sector, finding peace in life sector. Now, on January 12th, we do have the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, so there's likely some transformations taking place here. But like I said, it's already been going on since 2007 with the routine stuff. So what this is a restructuring taking place. What I would say is around the middle part of January, being non-attached to your routine, to your health or diet, or to your work, will allow for maybe, us becoming a little bit more aware of what we can change, or what we want to change, or let go of, or end. So the non-attachment allows for the change. And so that's a great way of working with it. And so as things are changing, Saturn, the builder, is coming in the wake of that to lay some new foundations with this work and routine sector. So definitely great year of, again, building upon this area, and we could notice some nice steps in the right direction, nice restructuring taking place here for you in January. Now, February, we have a minor aspect, but it is quite nice. It's Jupiter sextiling up to Neptune. And this starts around February 20th and goes on until October 12th, synergizing your work sector with the deeper sector of your chart. So with Neptune here, it's been a really good time of, this has been maybe as far back as 2010, of having a more spiritual approach to matters of life and death, deeper matters, having more acceptance about them. Maybe there's some uncertainty during this time regarding life and death matters, or shared resources, or deeper matters in life. But this is now synergizing very nicely, where I think you'll have you'll see a really nice flow, I think, regarding the routine stuff and regarding the deeper stuff in your life. And so this does favor anything on the healing level, transformation, empowerment, shared resources, when it is about having a more receptive approach to these things and seeing how everything does happen in divine timing with those matters. So this will be until October 12th, and the shifting part the shifting point of this will be mid-year, July 27th. All right, so March is the next important month here, and this is Saturn dipping into Capricorn until June. And this is your 7th house of relationships. So March through June, you may get a bit of a glimpse as to what 2021 and 2022 will be like in regards to your relationship sector. There's likely some new foundations being laid here with this. So a little bit of a prelude. March through June, you may start to get a little bit serious about relationships, maybe start to cut some people out of your life that you don't want to form healthy, relationships with, but then focus your attention on maybe the few relationships in your life, because Saturn does show us the limitations, but it makes it very constructive so that we can build upon the area in a way that's healthy and balanced. You'll probably slowly start to notice a little bit more recognition over the next few years in regards to your work or public life, as now you do really finalize what has been the previous 14 years of a lot of personal development that you've been doing with Saturn at the bottom of your chart. And now that Saturn's making his way to the top, the next 14 years do favor more of that outer success, outer achievement, and it all starts with building healthy relationships. Now, April, we have Neptune going into Pisces through September. So a little bit of a prelude as to what 2021 and onward will be like in regards to this. Now, this is your 9th house sector. So you'll likely start to feel like maybe you're gaining some spiritual outlooks on life more, or some spiritual philosophies starting to develop. You may have some dreams and ideals about travel or adventure. So it's really good to follow those dreams and ideals, but at the same time to also surrender what's outside of your control when it comes to these aspirations, or it comes to these travel or long distance matters, or your beliefs and your perspectives, because Neptune's helping really wash this area over in a sense that you're more receptive about it. And the journey and life path and the beliefs and the inspirations just kind of come in a divine timing kind of sense. But definitely some good developments there, with Neptune being in a very comfortable sign of Pisces, which is the natural domicile of Neptune. Now, on April 4th, we do have Jupiter and Pluto conjoining, and so again, this will be in your 6th house sector. So this, though, around April 4th all the way till about November 12th, you may gain some insights around your deeper relationship towards your routine or towards your work. Are there any fears here? Are some deep things from the past that can be healed perhaps? Or again, some things that can be empowered. This can be a very empowering time, because Pluto is usually all the stuff that we're usually too afraid to look at. Again, it involves our shadow, our deeper psyche. Again, for you, maybe work routine or health related stuff that now Jupiter is going to really, magnify and help us see the more positive side of a lot of these things. And so really good time for deep diving and maybe even some opportunities of transformation and changes. Again, that can be very constructive here for your work routine and physical health sector. Now, June, we have a solar eclipse in Gemini, again, your 12th house. So new beginnings starting to emerge with your spiritual well-being and maybe creatively, and again, where you can find more peace in life. Do be flexible around this time, even the month and a half before it, as we will have Venus retrograde, and then Mercury will be retrograde the first week before this, and then the 2 weeks after. So, but around June 21st, you may start to notice there are some new things emerging with your intuition, your spiritual your spiritual life, and again, good time for just getting in touch with the more receptive aspects of things, and that's going to again help balance out a lot of that busier kind of emphasis with the work routine or whatever is really activated there this year. Now, September, we have Neptune coming back into Aquarius until February of 2021, and so it will be a good time of wrapping up anything that has been about that deeper sector we were talking about earlier, of finding more acceptance about life and death, and maybe doing some spiritual things for healing, having a more receptive approach to deeper matters, and shared resource stuff, maybe finalizing that again by having a more accepting approach to it. But this all starts to clear up. I think once you get to 2021, once Neptune officially leaves here, things will probably make a lot more sense slowly in regards to anything shared resource, anything involving healing, and anything involving your deeper values or life and death in any way, as that area starts to wrap up with Neptune leaving. And it's been helping you have a more receptive approach and seeing how everything is actually divinely perfect the way that it is here in this sector, this deeper sector. All right, November, we have a lunar eclipse on the 30th. And so this is going to be in your 11th house. So good time to do a status check regarding your future ideals. Around this time, the energy will be quite different here at this time because the nodes are going to be changing signs. But just do a status check with your future ideals, and anything group related or community related. You might cultivate something here. It's certainly possible. But with whatever insights you gain, it'll be really good to develop for the next 6 months going into 2021 in regards to either your future ideals or collective matters, group things, maybe even technology, or anything in that very future orientation. Now, December 14th, we have a solar eclipse in your 5th house. And so new beginnings, maybe with your self-expression or your creative side, or kids, if you have kids in your life, or romance possibly. This is some stuff from the past that's starting to come up for resolution. And so maybe some new things emerging, again, taking you into 2021. But it's really good just to be aware of, not really to do much with this, as much as just to be aware of what might be being released with your self-expression or your passions in life, which will lead to you feeling a little bit more empowered with your self-expression and maybe even cultivating some of these passions or more of your self-expression into 2021. And then lastly, on December 21st, we have Jupiter and Saturn finalizing the year with their exact conjunction, and again, that is in the routine sector. So I see a lot of, again, final developments at the end of this year in regards to work, routine, health, maybe some opportunities being solidified with Jupiter, Saturn, and yeah, it's just a really constructive time for manifestation all year, but it could be, really finalizing at the end of the year there. All right, so Cancer, I hope you all have a fantastic 2020. Now, this video does come with a 20% discount on personal readings. So if you do want a Skype session or an MP3 reading for you personally for 2020, be sure to check out the link down below for that 20% discount. But I wish you all the very best. Hope you have an awesome 2020 and beyond. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.